All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Bottom of the Bill. We got our boy Eric Kaufman on today. It's gonna be a fun episode. I'm excited. How you doing, Eric?
Hey, good. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Before we get started with everything, I just want. We gotta do the obligatory cheers first.
Yeah, please.
Keep forgetting about that every time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Drinking a Bud Light.
Yeah.
That's about as American as you can get.
Nevada, but
All right. Okay.
We should
drank all those already.
should tape up that logo. Oh, nice, bro. It's a brand new couch. Good job.
What is?
He just spilled some beer all over your brand new couch.
All right.
We'll get him a new couch. Don't worry.
That's all right. That's fine. I've had it for a week. It was gonna get messy eventually.
So before we get started here, I wanted to just give a shout out to everyone who's sponsored us in the past: Wicked Barley, Spliffs, Brews here in Riverside, Captain Jack Smokehouse up in Fernandina, Sidecar over in San Marco. We really appreciate everybody that's been a part of this, and make sure you go and support all those businesses. Blue Jay Listening Room, I know she doesn't have a whole lot going on right now as everything's kind of shut down, but just we appreciate everybody's involvement in this whole thing. Keeps us doing what we're doing. So
I'm trying to think of somebody else that you have forgotten, but I cannot think.
I'm sure I forgot somebody. I have the worst memory in the world. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get into it. So Eric, how you doing, man? How you been?
Doing good, man.
How you getting through this whole thing?
I've just been kind of doing the same thing everyone else is doing, man. Just waiting, doing a couple side projects, little side hustles, but
little side hustles. No pun intended.
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got working on?
I mean, not much, man. You've seen it. A couple streams.
Couple streams. You did our stream.
I did do your stream.
That was badass.
That was really fun.
That was probably the most fun one, though, right?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
But it was the most fun.
It was definitely one of my favorites.
Okay, all right. Well, but it was your favorite, is what you're trying to say.
It was my favorite one outside of 1904. Let's put it that way. And the only reason is because I didn't have all the extra production.
But it was so cool.
Awesome.
Like you turned my living room into a damn venue. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was badass. That was so much fun.
That we should have turned the camera around at least once to see everything that he brought. He brought everything, and it was just so dope.
I think I had my own phone up for like 30 seconds or something in the middle of it. Yeah,
it was cool,
get all
man.
the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
it was cool. Chelsea was back there.
Chelsea was telling me, she's like, make sure you say what's up to Eric for me and say that I had a lot of fun working.
Yeah, Chelsea was running the camera and then commenting and everything.
Yeah, she was.
We had a whole team.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. That's how you do it, man. I love this stream too, man, because I was telling you earlier, I love seeing, the whole community I'm used to seeing all the time come out here, and everyone's still talking and enjoying the music scene and trying to look out for everybody and see what everyone's doing, and it's good to hear from everybody and tune into this, and
we appreciate you watching every week,
not
man.
being able to be in person with everybody almost daily at the venue, and
I feel you,
but that's what it is right now.
We appreciate you supporting it every week, man. It's a big help. I mean, it means a lot, and hopefully we keep growing this thing, getting all of our people on here. That's what it's all about. Get all of our people around Florida and throughout the Southeast, all the bands we work with.
Some Jags players on here.
Yeah.
I want Gardner Minshew. I bet if we get big enough, I think Gardner Minshew would come on here.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you
work that out. He is, right?
He's a quarterback for. Is he really?
Yeah.
He's got a
for
mustache.
the Jaguars.
Yeah.
That was a total guess.
But I love him. He's like Jacksonville's new son here, and he's got the whole mustache thing and
like a Minshew.
Huh?
Fu Manchu.
He's the Fu Manchu, yeah.
No, but Minshew.
Minshew what?
The guy, the football player, isn't that a guy? He had the mustache. You're always talking about that.
Yes.
Right, that's a thing, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
He's a
That's
quarterback of the Jags.
Some dude one night came to 1904, dressed up as Minshew. And he had like a robe on and like this mustache cut like that, and he was just like trying to get into every place for free and stuff. He's like I'm Minshew, and let me see your ID, and like he even pulled his ID out, and his last name was like similar. Like security guards were like,
is this really this guy?
No, dude, you can't come in here, dude.
He's awesome. He dresses like a 70s porn star, and just his Instagram posts are hilarious. He had Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. You didn't see that at all?
No.
He came to the no, it's not Everbank Field anymore, but he came to the TIAA Bank Field to do to throw with Uncle Rico, and he came with the van and everything.
That's
that.
Cool.
It's anyways, I love him. We'll get him on here.
Yeah, well, one day.
There you go.
Anyways,
until then, we got Eric.
This ain't a sports. This ain't a sports podcast, bro.
Yeah. We can make it real quick.
No, we can't. I don't
okay, all right, fine.
Let's
talk about music.
So Eric, how'd you get started running sound, man?
Well,
What made you get inspired to do it?
Well, I grew up around it. I grew up around a bunch of like bands. I grew up in South Florida, like you.
Yeah, Tony 305 in the building.
Yeah.
Are you copping 305?
I'm cop that 954.
Oh,
that Fort Lauderdale.
That's actually where I'm from too. 954, not 305.
I still got the same area code.
He's not. I mean, he's 305.
Yeah, Tony 305.
Tony 305. Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, I just grew up in a neighborhood with a bunch of garage bands and stuff, and I learned how to play guitar at a young age, and played in a lot of like pop punk bands and stuff growing up. And that's kind of just what got me into it now, but that's like where it started. I kind of just like played a lot of little shows in middle school and high school, and ended up cutting some records when I was really young and some like punk bands. And I was always just kind of infatuated with like why my monitor doesn't sound good and why I can't hear anything on stage, and like I didn't understand like how to talk to the sound guy, and like I'd end up going in studios, and half the time I wouldn't even be talking about the music. I'd just be talking to the engineer like, oh, how'd you learn how to do all this? How'd you get started? And asking them everything you're asking me. Basically, it's kind of the same story, but I was middle school, high school doing that, and there was a studio, you might have heard of this, Ride and Hour Studios.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of where my interest started. We used to rehearse there.
Yep.
And they had a big live room. I think it's still in business.
Yeah, they're still going at it.
Keith Ridenauer, he's the owner. Shout out Keith. He probably has no idea who I am anymore, but yeah, man, he was really cool, and he liked our band, and we were talking about cutting a record, and yeah, it was pricey, and we were young, but we cut like 5 songs, and I would just pick his brain the whole time, like.
What do you play, if you don't mind?
I play guitar.
Play guitar?
I used to play a lot more. Like in the last like 10 years, I've kind of just fallen off and just been doing production.
Just want to keep going. Sorry.
But yeah, I want to play more. I've been playing a little bit more that I'm not doing production often. But yeah, I mean that kind of got me started in the interest of it. I still had no idea what he was doing, and I thought he was like a mad scientist, and like it just kind of sounded really good, and like I was so happy with the way the record sounded, because like before that, in some of the bands before that, this is a band called Break 27, and before that I was in some other bands, and we were younger than that, and we would record in our friend's garage, or on a little like 2-track or 4-track like Tascam recorder or something, and like it would you can get the idea of what we sounded like, but it always kind of sounded like garbage, like, and we didn't know what we were doing, but we're really proud of it, and like
of course.
and we were really young, and no one had any record, and it was just kind of cool to like even have a song that was playable like on a CD or on MySpace or anything. And then
throwback MySpace.
But then when I went into like a real studio, I was like, oh shit, like this is awesome. Like you could actually make those rooms are soundproof, like those are expensive microphones and buttons and lights, and that kind of just, I had no idea what I was looking at or talking about, but that's what got me interested in it.
Oh yeah. So did you get into the production side like in the studio first, or then you went to live sound?
Yeah, so from there out, I was pretty much just playing, recording records and performing, but I always had an interest in it, and then I ended up going to school for it. I went to Full Sail for a little bit.
That's what I figured.
That's in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
That's the best city in Florida.
It's a strange city.
No, I know.
But yeah. I guess I did that, and then I ended up, after Full Sail, I ended up starting a studio. I moved to New Jersey for a couple years.
Ooh, what part of New Jersey?
Salem County, like South Jersey.
Okay.
Right by Philly.
All right.
A couple friends from school. One of the really good friends I grew up with in South Florida, his family was out there. He moved back there after school. We all kind of just moved in together, started our own studio, which was really cool, but it was like 3 or 4 of us running a studio and 3 or 4 new engineers that were just like, super opinionated on how they wanted to do things, all of us, and we're all great at it in our own sense, but it was just, too many chiefs, and
not enough Indians.
And then we were also in a band, so like we were in this like metal band, and like that, like we would cut records, but it was just like, it wasn't like when I was 15 in the studio watching this guy cut our record, produce our, it was like all of us like trying to produce this record that got there but never got finished because it was like, well, maybe we should redo the drums. Like, oh, we should like, wait a minute, that we spent like 6 months on that. Like, I don't know if we want to redo everything right now. I don't know, you know, like,
right.
And it's just, I realized that, you know, that was a tough thing, and that's why there's an engineer and like an assistant engineer and a band. There shouldn't be like 4 engineers running a session. There should be 1 or 2
right
directing the session, and you know, but it wasn't always like that if we had like clients, because that was just our own personal problem. When we had clients, it would be like me or the other guy running it, or like one.
For sure.
And it would be more. But when everyone has their own opinion and we're all engineers, we're cutting your own personal record. It's a lot more
I couldn't imagine
difficult than it should
that.
be, because that's the whole point of a studio. Is like, almost a lot of people cut their own records or have produced it or have their own opinion on it, but it's always nice to have another engineer, unbiased ear, who's a good engineer.
But just one of them, though.
That's what I'm getting at. So
yeah, it's too many cooks in the kitchen.
But yeah, after
Yeah.
that,
Is that a better analogy?
That's a little more 2020.
It's a little
yeah. My bad on that.
canceled.
Just trying to stay on air, bud. That's awesome that you started a studio. I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean that was my own studio situation, and then I actually moved back to Florida, St. Augustine. I was there for a while, and I worked for Lou Rubino. Shout out Lou Rubino, Lucio Rubino from the Fish Tank Recording Studios in St. Augustine. Awesome facility, awesome engineer. This guy's got tons of records and tons of cred and awards and stuff. You know, he used to be the bass player in Paramore. I'm not even gonna go. He's an awesome guy. Anyway, but he let me be an assistant at his studio for a little bit while I was also stepping into some live sound gigs. But when I went into his studio, I got that feeling of when I was 15, like in my first studio, and I was educated, and I was like, I want to help you. Like, I want to be here. You don't have to pay me. Like, I just want to like learn and like play with cool gear and like get better at this. And like, I was like, I had my own studio, you know, I did this, I did that. And he was like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Like, just come help me out anytime. I got a session next week. Come on over. Like, and I just easily started, you know, doing all the busy work for him. Like, the band would come in, they'd pay him a good price, and I would just do the tracking for 4 hours. And then he would come in, and I would watch him mix it, and I would watch him like produce it, and like, all right, let's recut that vocal take. Let's do that. And I was like, oh shit, like this is.
It's almost like but you were at Full Sail before that, you said, and then you went there. It's almost like an apprenticeship. Sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he wasn't looking for help.
Yeah.
At all. I had a roommate in St. Augustine, and this is when I just moved down from Jersey, and I was like just kind of looking for musicians and studios, and you know, I just didn't feel right not being in that environment all the time. And like, my roommate was like really connected in St. Augustine. Zach Corey, what's up? If you're there, that's my old roommate. I don't know if he's here, but anyway, he's like, oh, you need to talk to my boy Lou. Like, I sell him guitars, and he's like a guitar salesman and stuff, and he's like, you need to hook up with this guy. You know, he's the guy in town. So once I kind of met Lou, I kind of met everybody else in town, and like the Toes and Sand guys down there. I'm sure you've heard of them too, production company.
Firewater works.
Yeah. So kind of got my footing there, and I was just helping Lou a lot. And then like once in a while, he was like trying to get me to help his live events that he was doing, and I was also like kind of in and out of the Standard, which is a club in St. Augustine. Filling in for some gigs, and Cafe 11, St. Augustine, and Planet Starbez, and whatever had a PA and a soundboard. I was kind of just like dabbling in there and just trying to get side gigs, and you know, and then that kind of got me to 1904. Same deal. I ended up moving up here, and
so you had like mentors kind of get you started in the whole thing. Then you think that's like kind of the way to break into that scene, is to have somebody kind of show you the ropes, and or do you think you can learn that in a class?
I mean, I think
job training kind of shit.
I think you can learn it anyway like that. I personally got a lot out of Full Sail. A lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about Full Sail, and I don't disagree with some of that. For me, I put everything I could into it, and when I signed that paperwork, I knew it was like, do this right or lose a lot of fucking money, and like
it ain't cheap.
Like, you know, and it's still something I'll pay for a long time, and that sucks. But you know, you could also spend some money and buy some gear and work for some places and learn it, but you're not gonna have like seasoned engineers teach you things. You gotta
like beg for it,
and you almost kind of
basically.
you learn from who teaches you or yourself, and that's not necessarily a vast education of it, because like there's no right or wrong way to do sound, but there is definitely some like guidelines and like definitely some things you shouldn't do. And like, even as someone who was educated, I didn't learn those things till I fucked them up. Pardon my language, but like I had to mess up.
Yeah.
And, you know, like my instructors warned me about these situations, and I didn't even think about that till it happened. And I was like, oh, wait, I should have done this. Like, and I should have changed this. And that's how you really learn. And
that's the best way to learn anything.
Like,
is
so
mess
like,
up.
that's why
Miss Frizzle.
That's why
She taught me that.
Yeah.
Fourth grade English.
Get messy, make mistakes. Magic School Bus.
Oh, Miss Fred, right, Magic School Bus.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that show.
It's creepy.
I still watch it every day.
There could
Of
be
course
a
you do.
magic
Makes a lot
school
of
bus
sense.
flying around your butt and your body right now. You wouldn't even know it, man.
Yeah, inner space. I'm sorry. Boy, do I like interrupting.
We need that's what you're here for, man. The
I know.
Comedic relief.
I know my place. I know what I'm here for.
I was getting sick of talking anyway.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, so fuck. I had something I was gonna ask.
When you're learning though, that's instead of you went to Full Sail and then you went to find okay, not that you need a job or anything like that, but you're like, I got to get my foot in the door sort of situation, everything like that.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
I pushed really hard in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
To any place, and there's not many in St. Augustine, to let me get my foot in the door.
Exactly.
And it wasn't easy. Like
there was
a lot of people who didn't know me. I just moved there, didn't trust me, and I'm sure I've experienced this. I have multiple people like, hey, I do sound. Hey, I can help. Hey, I can.
Right?
And like 1 out of 10 of those people is worth a damn, and actually is, you know,
if that, man.
and it's just like, so I get it, but you know,
would you say that taking ego out of the equation is a big part of it? Like acting like you don't, making sure that you don't go and tell like a seasoned sound person, like, hey, I know what I'm doing over here. Like, you know, I've done this and I've done that. Like, I could give you like you don't want to walk in like acting like you run the place when you've never actually worked a venue or like you've never.
No, totally. That's a big turnoff for me. I don't like. I value sound guys' opinions if in my head I know who they are, or at least kind of know some of their cred, or explain to me their reasoning for wanting to talk to me in the middle of a stressful moment in the show. And if they can come at me in a way that I would come at somebody else, I will respectfully have a conversation with them. But if some random, you know, Chad walks up to the sound booth, like, I'm just gonna be like, get the fuck up. Like,
you need to turn the bass up a little bit.
Yeah, like, you know,
I listen to a lot of metal, man. You need to turn the bass up.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Because I mean, there's a difference.
Is that the equivalent of Freebird then?
Yeah.
For a sound guy.
I mean, like, kind of, but it's just like, like, I don't know. A lot of people will just be completely turned off by it, but like, there's certain people in town that I'll listen to their opinion, and they've you know, given me some, you know, secrets of their mix that I use, and you know, I've spread that to other sound guys that look at me, and like, you know, I think that's really important because it's a competitive field that doesn't need to be competitive, but in smaller towns, and Jacksonville's not a small town, but there's only a few venues, there's only a few production companies, you know, St. Augustine too, like it's half of that or less, like, so St. Augustine was tough for me to get my foot in the door. When I did, things happened, but you know, like they already had, everywhere I went, they already had sound guys, and they already had an established team, and like I was just another guy knocking on the door. So like eventually I would sub for somebody or two, and when I subbed and I would do extra than what they did, I would bring my laptop and record it, remix it, and send it back to the owner
Right.
for free. It took me all week.
Yeah.
Spent 40 hours. Got paid half of what the other sound guy gets paid to run the show.
Right.
But you got to do that
But
to get ahead.
They
Yeah,
were
you
like,
have to put
"Holy
in that
crap,
extra
this
work."
sounds good. Like, you want to do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, you mind paying me $100? Like,
Yeah.
you mind hiring me for some shows?"
Yeah, exactly.
And it took a couple of those conversations and a couple of like, "Oh, this guy actually can do sound. It does sound good. Like, let's try it out." And then it kind of just that's how it happened in most places I've worked. Like, they kind of were just like, start coming more.
You got to start at the bottom to get to the top.
Yeah.
Walking to the bottom of the belt.
You got to be on the bottom of the bill once in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Once in a while.
and honestly, just
Been here for a while.
putting in the work, whether you're in live sound or whether you're on the musician end of it or whether you're on any industry you get into, just putting in the extra work and making sure that
No
people
one's
know,
gonna give it to you.
No one's gonna give it to you at all.
It's not given to you at all.
And like not just like not give it to you, but also like. If you're just doing what everybody else is doing,
Yep.
that doesn't get you anywhere.
Don't stand
You have
out.
to go above and beyond.
Eric knows.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's what he
I
did.
think
He
we
stood
all
out.
know that.
But he
I
knows.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But he knows, especially is what I'm
I
trying
mean,
to say.
I come at it from a musician standpoint. Like, as we were talking about earlier, like, I was a musician. I mean, I am a musician, but that's why I do it. Because I was like, as a musician, I was so interested in it, and I wanted it to be better. Like, mostly when I was like playing live, I was like, why can't I hear myself? What's that speaker for? Like,
Yeah.
you know, and like, and a couple times I had a couple good sound guys, and that, you know, people that influenced me, and I was like, oh, this is easily done if you care about it enough. And you know, some people do, some people don't. And that's what sucks about, you know, a lot of venues in this country is, you know, some people don't give a flying fuck or
Never had that experience.
just don't have the experience.
So this
and,
guy
like,
this kind of leads me to a question that I want to ask: why are sound guys so cranky all the time?
That is true.
it's a good question. There's a lot of answers for that question.
There's a lot. I know there are.
I try not
It's
to
usually
be.
not their fault. Either.
No, Eric, you're like the like happiest sound guy.
But
Yeah,
don't
you're
get
the
me
best
wrong, dude. Like, it happens sometimes, and like, especially early in my career, I've had a lot of talks with promoters. Shout out Mike Ciro for putting me in my place years ago. I don't know if y'all know Mike Ciro. He's an awesome promoter around here. But there was times I've definitely talked back to the bands. Been an asshole. Did it over the PA.
Oh, no.
Woohoo!
I learned real quick that that's not okay, you know, and like, you gotta get the personal shit out of your head, because it's not personal. It's really just everyone just wants to have a good show. Like, there's definitely egos.
Of course.
You gotta check all that shit at the door. And a lot of people who are sound guys, who are musicians, who are creative artist people, are emotional creatures. All of us are. And
Yep.
like,
Not him.
it becomes him more than anybody.
No, he's not. He's a creature, but not emotional.
Yeah.
Keep going. Sorry. Keep doing it. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it could be the littlest thing in the world, from someone walking up to the booth and saying something, or it could be just, you know, an artist rubs you the wrong way, or those are the little things that'll make you snap, you know. But I don't let that happen anymore. But what people don't realize is, you know, you come to the show for 4 hours, right? The sound guys there, I mean, especially on these like national tour shows, I mean, shit, I can be there from, you know, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning till 4 in the morning. Like, I'm there all day. So I've already spent 8 hours dealing with a possible shitty road crew,
Right.
who have been, you know, just playing the ego card all, and they're like, oh, it's some shitty local sound guy venue, and I'm fucking doing this and that. And then not everyone's like that, but there's definitely those days.
Right.
And, you know, I've learned to bite my tongue and just help them out with anything they want. And at the end of the day, everyone shakes my hand. Thanks, man. That's really what it's all about.
That's actually
But-
what I did want to ask you about. Not interrupt. What does being a sound guy, or sound person in general, fully
2020.
entail? Yeah, 2020.
Sound them.
I mean,
what does it fully
everything.
entail?
I mean, everything from just, you know, like a band like you guys coming in a local show to, you know, y'all come in at like 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock and set it up and backline some people and run the show, to there's a whole road crew that comes in, national tour. They come in early in the afternoon, early in the morning. And it's just my job to guide them through the venue and point the ins and outs and give them whatever they need. Most of that's talked about weeks before in an advance email. Even the local stuff we do advances for, but y'all aren't bringing in extra consoles. You're not bringing in all this. You're just like, oh, we just need 12 lines and 16 lines for drums, bass, guitar, or whatever. But a lot of these big like tour contracts have a lot of technical needs. Sometimes we got to rent extra stuff. Like we're at 1904, we're pretty much full production. We can do pretty much 90% of everything. But there's certain tours that demand other things that we don't have that is either A, budgeted for or not. So it's an email thread for a couple days of knocking all that stuff out. Like, oh, we want this, and this, but it's not in the budget, and we only have this, and this, until everyone comes to the same page, which is how it's supposed to happen. When that doesn't happen, and they come in and say, we wanted blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, you never told us that, or we never communicated, or, well, that's not me, it's my agent or my manager. And it's like, well, you can't be mad at me for not renting that because it was never confirmed in an email, blah, blah, blah. So those kind of situations, this is before the sound check, before the load-in. So, like, everyone's pissed.
Right.
And it's no one's fault but a miscommunication on a higher end or something, right? So everyone's mad, and everyone thinks it's the band's fault. Everyone thinks it's the sound guy's fault. Everyone thinks it's the venue owner's fault or the manager's fault or whatever. And no one's stepping up and dealing with the situation because, well, we can't get it now. It's a couple hours, 4 hours, can't get it. So what do you want to do? How do you want to adapt? And that's a situation that no one sees.
Right.
And everyone's mad all day long, and then we adapt and we make it work. Sound check goes good, whatever. They might have their own engineer, I might be engineering, whatever, but it'll work out, and everyone's happy at the end of the night. But then some asshole in the crowd comes up and says this, or this, or something involving the sound or the way that, or it should have been like this or that, and it's not my job to explain to a customer in the middle of me dealing with an 8.5 hour pre-set up.
This is good.
Why that's not happening, or why and to be a person in the crowd thinking it's okay to go bother the production people about that situation is not okay, and I'm already pissed for you coming up, period, without even opening your mouth, because this is a stressful day.
I never even thought that was a thing.
Everybody else, this is a great party, and everything's running great.
Yeah.
It's a good show. To me, in that situation, it doesn't always happen. I'm really biting my tongue that, holy crap, I can't believe we got it to make it work. But at the same time, that's almost the most rewarding feeling.
Right.
So for someone to come up and say something about that, I was like, I worked so hard to get it here.
Jonesy said it's not a customer, it's a guest. Yeah, he knows.
You heard
Customer
that,
service
Jonesy.
sucks,
Yeah.
man.
But see, I'm not in here for customer service, so.
Oh, right.
I am, and that's what I'm getting at. So
your customer service really is being on the band.
Yeah,
the band's a customer.
The band is my client. I need to make the band happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. If the band's happy, it might be a stressful day, but like I said, 90% of the time, everyone's happy. So that's the goal. If the band's happy, if the sound's good, and the monitors work, and the equipment works, and everyone's happy, and the band's smiling, everyone's thumbing up each other, and everything's good, I don't give a fuck what you're saying.
Yeah, well, it's not your bro.
I'm sorry.
No. You should that's the kind of shit you should be talking about right there. It's an interesting dynamic, actually, if you think about it, right?
Has anybody ever interviewed a sound guy before? This is amazing.
Bro, no. So what's great is that so from your perspective, the client is the band, because your cost is incurred to our overhead when we go put on a show, right? So but when we do the show, our clients are the fans, or the supporters coming out to they're paying tickets, paying money to go see, buy a ticket to the show. So it's just interesting how it's that gets lost in translation sometimes, because it's if these people have a bad time, we now have a bad time, which means that we usually take it out on the sound guy at that point. It's well, I couldn't fucking hear myself for this, or I couldn't hear this, I couldn't hear that. This person says that this wasn't coming through the mix loud enough, and you're just like, fucking sound guy, and they're like, fucking fan. It's just
that makes sense now.
But
the fall guy.
Yeah, so I'm always the fall guy.
Sucks.
But I mean, it's a thankless job sometimes. But I mean, luckily there's awesome bands like you guys and Ben
thank
Strock
you.
and like all these local bands. I mean even the national acts. I mean I get thanked a lot, and I'm really grateful for that. But
Yeah,
it wasn't always
like
like
every
that.
show.
But yeah, I mean it's and really it is about the fans and the crowd, and that's the overall goal too. Is we want everyone to have a good time, have a good sound experience and lights and a show and enjoy.
Well, if you
it.
make us happy, we make them happy.
But that's what I'm getting at. It starts with I got to make the band happy.
Right.
The band's got to be happy with me, then they can perform better, and the crowd's happy.
Exactly.
So it's not so like when the crowd, it does start with me, and it ends with them, but it starts with like us before the show starts.
Yeah, we have to have good
so, like-
communication.
But
We
you
to be on
have
same
all the
page.
power, though.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, you could just end the show.
Yeah, you just end the show.
And that's what
I'll
I
fucking
think.
scorch the earth on this one,
I'm
motherfucker.
just now realizing this. This is
once or twice.
hilarious.
It's happened once or twice.
You turn someone off? You unplugged them?
I've done it once or twice.
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to sell you out or whatever.
But they
you
deserved it.
did.
They deserved it. I'm not gonna name names. But,
No, yeah, of course not. No, you
but,
know what? It's,
Uh,
that's
I mean,
amazing.
if you
Lizzo-
continuously break things and continuously disrespect where you're at and
Sure, yeah.
throw things at people and just there's a limit. If what happens sometimes is you're over your set time. I have to say it. It's my job to keep
That's
the schedule.
true.
And
Yeah.
that's a shitty situation for everybody. But
Especially
if,
jam bands.
if it's talked about before the set, and if there's a set time, and this is the cutoff time, there might be a 3 or 5 minute buffer here. But if I say that you have to, if you have that conversation, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that conversation,
Yeah, you don't know.
and they play an extra song, I'm like, yo, that was actually 5 minutes over. This is it. Like, fuck the sound guy. It's like, no, dude, like, fuck you, because you're not screwing me over. I
know.
don't care. You're screwing over the two bands after
Yeah,
you.
I
You're
totally
screwing
agree.
over the
And the
time
fans.
slots, like,
Yeah.
and it's making the entire event seem unorganized, and
Well,
that's
there's been times where you've told us straight up, or like before we get started, it's like, yo, you have like either 45 minutes or an hour, half, whatever it might be, but it's like that's hard. Like there's no we have no overage on that, and we try to respect it as much as we can. And then there's been other times where it's like, well, you have 50 minutes or an hour, but you guys can, if you take an extra 5 or 10 minutes, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and it's
that's a good thing.
it's situational, and that's what I'm getting. At least I talk to you about it.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
And I try and do that with everybody because I know it's an issue sometimes, and sometimes not to bash on local shows, but sometimes local shows, and not like you guys, but some of the younger bands, they don't have a lot of experience on a stage, so they're not very quick on getting on and off.
Oh,
and,
but that is
That's my least favorite thing.
yeah, and it sucks. And when there's only 15 minutes, it's barely enough time.
These
But
guys want to walk off stage.
jump
and
off stage and shake hands and take
Yeah,
pictures.
but,
and-
you
it's like, bro,
like-
you guys
Kiss their
have plenty
mamas.
of time to do
There's
this after you get your shit off the
yeah,
fucking
and
stage.
it's just I get it, but it's really tough on the other 10 people that have to go on that stage.
Yeah.
And they're mad at me, not
Yeah.
the band.
And
So
we're
it's
all
very,
sitting there waiting
so
with our shit in our
there's
hands,
there's plenty of times where I just started. I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna pull the drum set down. All right, I'm just gonna load this band out.
Yeah.
Like because I have to, and they're like, where's my stuff? I'm like, dude, it's on the street right there next to your car. Can you I'm looking out for you, bro. But you got to look out for me. And
Yeah,
it's
exactly. They don't understand that relationship yet.
but I mean, people learn, and it's gotten really awesome in the last couple of years, especially with the locals, because they all know the deal, and we're all trying to just make an awesome show happen. And
I think a lot of the local bands are kind of like on the easier level to work with. Like a lot of us have been on the road plenty, and we had to deal with a lot of situations, like from festivals to small clubs across the country. So you kind of just learn what, after enough times of doing, you learn what that means. And especially when you're working with people that you don't know, and you're working with other bands that you don't know, you kind of just learn the etiquette after a while, So when we come home, it's like we have a real respect for what the home team's going through. It's like, well, now it's like it's not even about like we don't even know these people. It's like we actually know these people. We should extend to them that virtue of goodwill that sometimes goes unnoticed when you're not in a home.
Yeah, yeah, man.
feeling,
I appreciate that. I mean, and most people like around here are like that, and that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I call it big timing.
Big timing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Billy loves that term, big
Yeah.
timing.
You can big time me, bud.
What are your favorite situations to work in, like from festivals to? So I know you've worked like a bunch of different stuff, from festivals to smaller clubs. What are your favorite situations to work in, and what are the differences in working those scenarios?
I mean, I guess like my most favorite thing is the least amount of work and the most amount of fun.
Yeah, all of us.
It's good philosophy.
So that's not always the case, but like I guess my favorite thing to do is to be like a guest engineer for a friend's band like at a festival.
So like Ben's band at Swanee Rising.
Like that's so fun, dude,
Yeah.
because I don't have to do any of the overhead work. Like
Right.
like the PA's there. It's like my homies running it. Shout out Receptor Sound and
Is that Rush Bowers and all
Joey
them?
Say Rush Bowers.
Love that whole Dylan
Yeah.
Reader, Annie
Lytle.
Lytle, that whole
Like,
crew.
Man,
Yeah,
it's
they're a lot of
so
fun.
easy to just walk up in their production. Just be like, hey guys, good to see you. Like,
Yeah.
can I hop on? You're like, yep. Like, and I always email them or text them before, like, hey, I'm bringing this, and this. I'm adding these mics or whatever, because I know what it's like. So
By the way, any stage that they're running at any festival, they're all St. Pete, Tampa, West Coast
Yeah, they're
crew,
great.
Florida. They're good friends of all of
They're
ours.
the best.
Please make sure you go and
Great.
support whatever stage they're running, because those people have it on lock, and they're just like the best, one of the best production companies in Florida, hands down, if not the entire country.
Yeah, I love all those guys.
yeah, I love those guys. I love AVL guys too.
Yeah, AVL crew's awesome.
AVL's
Got
great.
some very
uh,
good friends that work for them.
Yeah, I
as
think
well.
Halloween last year, AVL supplied some of the speakers for their stage, but Receptor Sound did the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
they were
kind
on
of the
stage.
best of both worlds.
When we played that stage.
Campground stage.
At campground
Yeah. This past Halloween?
No,
No, it was 2
2018.
years ago. But
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
they did so well they got the gig again.
I
What
think
it
that's
sounds like.
something like that.
And
I'm
they
not-
run
like,
OBJ and that
don't
whole
quote
thing
me
too.
on that.
Oh
but
yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But so they're the best of both worlds there, and great PA and great engineers.
So showing up at where
Dude, so
everything's
show-
taken
so
care
everything's taken care of. I mean, I gotta go up there. Maybe I gotta line some mics in, but there's a stage crew, there's a front of house crew. Like, so I'm just like, yo, here's my input list. Like, I'll line a couple in with you, and then like, I'm gonna play with the PA for a little bit, and
No
you know,
kidding.
and luckily, this past Halloween I mixed for Danka, and
Nice.
so we were able to actually get like a decent sound check in, because like I think they were the first band on that stage that day, which was really fucking cool, because most of the time you don't get that luxury of like having especially at a festival. There's no like, you can't really do full sound checks because there's such crossover on other stages, and like
Right. So what do you do in that scenario?
you just even with the Danko scenario, I just kind of turned the PA to like half, and we just did it quietly, quickly.
Okay.
I mean, I know them well enough. It's bands I know how to mix. I know what they're gonna do. So I already kind of just have presets, and
We should talk into the mic. Sorry.
yeah. So
You have
I,
presets, so you know how they run.
yeah, I
already?
kind of already know what I'm gonna do, and then just kind of make sure it sounds good at like half volume for a couple minutes, and then and then
Shout out to Matt Henderson and Danka. and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole crew. They're awesome. Adam Kenaway, everybody. They're awesome.
I was in Danka.
You were?
Yeah.
Then you got fired because you weren't good enough. or-
We had a mutual agreement that I should not be in the band.
Did you ever
But
play?
I do like
at,
Matt Henderson a lot.
Did you ever play at the Standard with them
Standard
in
Where
St.
was
Augustine?
No, I never went to St. Augustine.
Yeah.
with
Dude,
them.
I mixed them once or twice before I knew any of them, and it was at the
This
Standard,
is when
yeah.
I was like, this was like before Lucky Costello too. This is like
Okay.
I was like maybe 20 years
Yeah, I
old.
missed the Costello.
Fucking old.
We
dude.
should- we
Don't. No,
Uh,
really?
I
You're the
do.
only one. No, I'm just kidding.
Unpopular opinion.
Oh, okay,
no,
all right.
there's a lot of people that agree with that. But we should bring Eric to one of our festival. We should bring you to one of our festival slots next time.
Oh
Just
yeah,
like-
man.
To run
rather
sound?
than
I didn't
trying-
know that was a deal.
Yeah,
I
right.
didn't know that was a possibility.
Rather than just fucking like
Yeah.
dealing with somebody that we didn't even know, just bring Eric. Eric
Oh,
knows
yeah.
our shit by this point.
I love
Yeah.
doing that, man.
Okay, all right.
I've done Ben's band.
So like next
Danka.
week we have a festival.
Next
Or, when's the? No, so never. We're
No,
not a
we're
festival
playing a
anymore.
festival next week.
Yeah.
Playing Joy Fest.
Thought it was private, but okay.
You should be inviting people on your pages, by the way.
is that-
Sean and Aaron,
is
you
that
guys
in
should
front-
be.
Is that in front of Dina?
No, that's up
Oh.
in Savannah area, I think.
I thought it was private.
Well, you should be inviting people anyways. I don't think it's a private
That's
thing.
not what private means.
Well, we're playing at a festival next weekend called Joy Fest. You should check it out.
It's private.
You're just out it.
But it's private.
No, it's supposed. Bro, I was told to invite people. That's what it's all about.
So I can
Like,
invite people. Whoever
invite
wants to come
people.
can come.
Oh,
Alright.
you got to pay. Well,
Of course,
there's,
of course.
There's a. It's more of like a.
How many plus ones do I get?
How many plus ones do you get?
I get like 4 plus
You get
ones.
like 4 plus ones. Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah. By the way, everyone who gets all these +1s all the time.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Please donate to these venues and to just go to SaveTheStages.com. Please sign a petition and share something. Like, there's so many people in this industry that are just like not engineers that are so involved that you have no idea about. It's just we need help. Come help us.
And we need a place to go. We need a place to go play when we come back to this whole thing.
There's a lot of places that are gonna go out of business. Like, just share a link and save our stages. Like, for real. Like,
please.
It's not that hard. Like, y'all have gotten hooked up for years. Like, it's time to help.
5, 10,
come on.
20, 1,000, whatever money you got, whatever, just anything you can, or you just share the event if you're that broke right now. Just do whatever you got to do. But
there's so many things.
Like, this is what this whole thing thrives on, are like these smaller venues and people that can't support themselves right now. This is what, like, when this all comes back, this is
I'm
what
sorry,
we're
I'm unaware of what you're speaking of.
Save Our Stages is a petition. I think it's getting into legislation now, but it's SaveOurStages.com. But it's basically a petition talking about unemployed production event, everything involving concerts, venues, and it's just it's spreading like wildfire. And there's been some protests about, it's an industry that's that doesn't work like most businesses, and
it's not essential
like
business.
We need a specifically geared program to help the music industry. Like Britain's done it already. Like, America's talking about it, but
this country's built on entertainment.
And
it's essential.
It is essential in people's mental state, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
it's essential for me. I mean, I essentially need to work in it to make a living, but everything's essential today, I guess. It's strange. We're not gonna get into all that, but save our stages.
Save our stages. SOS. That's
help
nice.
out the music community, the venues, everybody.
Save our stages. All right, look into that tonight for sure. I hadn't heard of that.
There you go. Thank you, Ben. Ben just posted the link.
What a nice guy, Ben.
By the way,
it's
check
great.
out Ben Strock and the Full
Oh,
Electric. That's one of the bands that Eric worked with at Swanee Rising.
Swanee Rising, yeah. Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had 2 drummers. We had Brandon Howell, shout out Brandon Howell, and Sean.
By the way, both those guys,
amazing.
Brandon and Sean, are like some of my favorite drummers in Jackson.
You see Sean's Tool cover with his new band.
Yes,
dude,
bro, they
awesome.
crushed that shit.
It's awesome.
These are just objectively some of the best drummers you're gonna hear anywhere. And they're just, I don't know, man. I love playing with both of them. They're just and they're both so different. They put you in these different mindsets of how you're gonna play. But it's just, and we had Sean on as a guest. He was our first guest, actually.
That's true.
We should get Brandon on too. That'd be a fun one.
Yeah, that would be a good one too.
You're gonna have everybody on, but
ask me another question.
What you got?
Yeah. What else we got here?
Start asking you questions. Why'd you cut your hair, Billy?
Yeah. By the way, we're not gonna talk about your brand new haircut.
Yeah,
my brand new haircut.
Got a new couch, a new haircut.
A new haircut. You've seen Napoleon Dynamite, right?
Mm-hmm.
My hair got too hot, so I cut it all off, and I felt embarrassed.
Okay.
But no, I get my hair. This is stupid. Why were we talking? I get my haircut once a year.
I didn't really want to talk about this.
I get my haircut once a year, and it's usually in the middle of the summer when it's too long and it sucks. And
I started cutting my hair again. I used to have,
cut your own hair.
No. But
I did this myself.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I had the dreads for a while, man.
Oh yeah, of course, duh. You look like I.
It was hot. I sweated.
Yeah,
I sweat a lot now.
I'm not trying to say teach your own. I think you look better. You look more mature.
Hey, thanks, man.
But at the same time, you had the longest dreads ever.
It was crazy.
This is a hair podcast.
I was doing a lot of reggae shows in St. Augustine when I was doing the Standard. My buddy Adam Simons was pretty much the reggae promoter in St. Augustine for a while, and we did the Reggae Sundays for years. And I don't know, man. I just someone started twisting my dreads up. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Just keep going. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, when did you cut all your hair off? He had longer hair
like
than he did.
Like almost 2 years ago.
How long did you grow your hair for?
Like 7 years or something.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was too long.
I'm having a hard time remembering what you looked like.
No, I remember. I remember.
It was bad.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but like 3 years ago you said?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
What's the biggest show you've worked, do you think?
Like at 1904 or just like
Just in general, like from festivals to venues.
I mean, I did like there's a lot, but I worked Soul Food Fest once.
That's down in St. Augustine.
It's it was in the Carolinas. It was in like South Carolina.
Oh, nice.
And like Bootsy Collins was headlining.
Yeah.
And like I can't think of the name right now, but like Drew Hill. Yeah, Drew Hill. Like Cisco's in it. Remember Drew Hill?
Yeah, I remember Drew Hill. Yeah.
Remember Cisco?
I remember Cisco in the thong song. But
Yeah. So like
Drew
Hill was like another like R&B like hip hop type of like
What was this song?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
The thong song.
Oh yeah, I remember.
that was
I mean, I was just
Cisco,
like,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
cool. That's
hips
Cisco,
like a
but-
truck. What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I remember that.
So that was
Great
pretty
lyrics.
big. I got to I was running a spotlight on Bootsy. That was kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
I was kind of just doing everything for that. I was just like an extra hand. I wasn't like doing in front of house or anything, but I was, I helped set up the PA and help rig lights and PA, and I ended up just doing running cables around and running power and but that was cool. I got to run the spotlight on Bootsy Collins. That was pretty freaking cool.
Hell yeah.
What about 1904?
Yeah, but at 1904, I mean, so many, dude. I mean, like Big Boy was awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
John 5 was awesome.
Oh, yeah,
He was the nicest dude I've ever met in my life. Like, and he's such a great guitar player.
He's ridiculous.
Simplest setup, 3-piece band, just like so typical and easy and just flawless. Like sound check was just like. Like this is great. Like I'm just like, you think this is great? Like you're like you play with Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson. I'm like thanks, dude. Like he was like he's like signed an autograph for me. He's like hugged me a bunch. He's like you're so awesome, dude. Like,
I love people like
I'm
that,
like,
man.
dude, you're awesome.
They really just appreciate what they have.
Like he was so cool, dude. Like
Is there a band that you've worked with where you were just like, I can't believe I'm running sound for my idols right now?
there's been a couple. I kind of got that mentality out of my head 5 or 6 years ago. I don't like fanboy out anymore, but like there was a couple shows. Newfound Glory.
Really?
Is a band from South Florida.
From Orlando, actually.
Yeah,
close enough.
but like, they blew up when I was like a teenager. And
Yeah.
like, I was in bands like that. Like we just tried to emulate bands like that all the time. Like
Yeah.
and so
Where'd you work with them at?
at 1904.
No shit.
Yeah, 'cause they, like,
so
all
they
the-
did
all the
this
emo
tour.
music's coming back
like
now.
they blew up, dude, and they did this
Yeah,
tour
yeah.
that was called like the Florida tour or
I
something.
remember.
And they literally were like, fuck this, we want to go back to our roots and just play like small venues in Florida. Like,
Yeah.
that's how they made it, And I used to go see them as a kid, and like, they were playing my venue, and I was like, this is really cool. Like, and like, if I could tell my 13-year-old self like that I would be doing that. That was kind of a moment. I mean, it's not it's not something I like listen to now much, but
No,
like,
of course.
it's just the nostalgia of it, like, and that was really cool for me. Like, just stuff like that kind of gets me. Like stuff that like I grew up listening to that I stopped listening to, that I end up mixing like in my 30s. It's just like, oh man, like if I could tell my young self that I would be able to have that opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, there's other stuff that just kind of blows me away that I wasn't expecting, or there's other band another band I really enjoyed working with is Talk.
Bro, yeah.
God, like there's some bands that come to 1904. I'm just like, this is so cool that they're playing a club like
How was
this.
it?
Like,
How was it working with Todd?
oh, it was fine. It was a lot of hard work. They had a lot of stuff going on. They had their own production people, but like it was pretty cool. It wasn't too difficult. It was just a long day.
What's your least favorite scenario as a sound guy? You don't have to mention any names or anything, but just
Least
like
favorite. Something that already happened.
yeah, or something that when you like going into it, like there's a bunch of stuff that is going to be a difficult day for you.
Catastrophe.
I mean, I could
Yeah.
sometimes
or full meltdown scenarios, or you're just like, I can't believe this fucking happened right now.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, I'm not going to name any names, but I mean, there's crazy things happen sometimes, man. I mean, I've seen people get thrown out of tour buses and kicked to the curb. You're not in the tour anymore. Like Like, I'm not gonna name any names.
We're gonna talk about that off air.
If you,
oh, I know that shit. Yeah.
If you've worked that show, you know what I'm talking about. But I've seen some shit happen like that, and that's just kind of like, how is this like even a reality in your life on tour, like that you just kick your merch person off of it, like send them packing, dude.
You want to re-up, bud? I got
yeah,
you.
I'm
talking.
gonna hit the bathroom real quick and get one. You want one?
You're gonna leave?
Yeah.
No, all right, okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just said,
Oh,
fuck it, I'm out of here.
Me and Tony are gonna talk amongst ourselves. No, I'm fine, thank you. I was gonna be the host. I'll see you later,
Bro.
What's
I
up?
love all the shit we're getting on.
How you doing?
I love all the stuff we're getting on Eric's side of it.
No,
It's
yeah, I didn't
crazy.
realize it was like I don't know, like there's like this secret world of like the other side of musicians.
Well, yeah, it's like we're not just because
We're not in
aware,
it. We're not part of it.
Oh, we're not. It's not that we're not part of it. It's just we're on a different part of it. You know, it's like we're on a.
No, I know.
We
but
have our perspective.
Yeah.
And we already know, because we're fans also, we already know what the fans' perspective is, and then we have the sound guy and the
Sure.
stagehand perspective
Yeah.
of it, and it's just cool to get to hear it. Like we kind of we think about shit, we try and be as like empathetic as we can, but we don't always know because like at least like from like you and I know you and I have never worked on that side of it before.
as being a sound guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, never.
So it's like there's a lot of musicians that do, so they might be more empathetic towards it, but
Sure.
it's like I
I'm
try
always
and,
nice to people. Sound guys,
Well,
if
yeah.
you're nice, sound guys are nice to you. You have a good time.
I always, but that's basically the rule of thumb that we work on.
that's all I
We
know.
don't, but we don't
That's
know.
all I
We don't
know.
actually know the ins and outs fully. You know what I mean? So it's
This is
cool.
amazing.
It's cool to get that perspective of it for sure. We were just talking about how great it is to have you on and get your perspective on like the whole thing. You know, we don't.
Thanks, man. It's good to be on here,
It's
man.
an underground world of sound guys that we didn't know.
You
about.
guys don't get the same voice that musicians do, and like we try and be as respectful as we can when we go based on like the golden.
You're so
rule.
respectful, dude.
But
Yeah, I've said that for ages now. He's so respectful.
No, yes,
I'm a
you guys are.
respectful
No,
guy.
you are.
I'm
All
a
y'all are.
respectful
You
guy.
said guy, but you meant reptilian
Reptilian,
lizard
right,
overlord.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you think I'm an overlord. That's cool.
Bro, tuck in your tail. It's showing a little bit.
Um,
He vibrates into our dimensions when he feels like it.
what, okay. What are your?
I'm gonna get a drink, by the way.
As
I was supposed to get you one.
No. We can't just let Tony just talk to
Okay.
him by himself.
Oh, that'd be really funny, actually.
that'd be very interesting.
The world would explode. We should both leave right now and then just be like, all right.
So I don't like electronic music.
Go
and
take like a
like
smoke break or something.
Basically. All
right, I'll be right back.
I
Okay.
could just start going off and just turn people off real quick.
That's a psychopath.
I'm not if no one could hear what Billy just said, but I'm not a psychopath. He thinks I'm a psychopath.
Today.
Any train wreck experiences that have been your fault or that have been other people's fault that you're just like, I can't believe that just happened? Like on stage,
Oh,
not necessarily
man,
after the show or before the show, but just like on stage.
Like
Learning
equipment
experiences.
failure and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, yeah, it definitely happens sometimes. I mean, I've seen people's amps break, or I've monitor or two of mine breaks, or there's disasters that can happen, and that's part of the job is predicting them and being able to fix them in a timely manner. And some things aren't fixable in a timely manner. I mean, if your amp busts and your guitar busts, I mean, I can't fix that.
Yeah. Of
Okay, but
course.
like if my equipment busts, I might have a backup. I might be able to rewire something real quick. Blah blah blah. There was this one time Head PE played.
Yeah.
Shout out Head PE.
Love the head beat, man. Hell yeah.
And like this was a crazy stressful moment. Like they were going crazy. Somebody jumped off the stage or something, and one of the monitor cables ripped out. And I mean it's a legit NL4 locking cable,
Oh,
but
shit.
sometimes people get aggressive and things can pull and it could pull out. It's an easy fix, but it takes 5 or 10 minutes. I gotta unscrew some shit and do it. This guy is kind of known to be a hothead. He's not so much anymore nowadays. I think he's chilled out a little bit.
singer?
Yeah, But he was really cool to me. But like I was actually like really nervous because I knew his like history with these situations. So I was like, I'm gonna fix this. I'm like, he was already talking about it on stage. He's like, yo, this monitor's out. What the fuck? And I'm like, oh man, he's getting pissed. Like, I don't know what's wrong. I'm like, someone must have broke it. So I ran up there and he just starts talking. He sees me fixing it, and I got my like 1904 shirt on, and I'm like screwing it in, and like, there you go. And I'm fixing it, and he's kind of talking to the crowd, and he's like, yeah, something's not working, bro. Like, hook me up, like, da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, all right, man. I'm trying, like, sweating. I'm like fixing it, right? And it's pop back in, it turns back on, and he's like, thanks so much. Everyone give it up to like Eric, the sound guy, and like people start chanting and stuff, and like he's like, yeah, this guy's awesome. And, like I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, that's what it's all about, because that could have went so south so quick, right. And it was my fault, even though somebody else jumped the cable out. It's my fault if I don't attempt to fix it. Right. Like, and a lot of people just won't attempt to fix it. Is it fixable? Maybe, maybe not. But at least show that you're trying to fix it. Right. Luckily, it wasn't too bad. It was just a short wire, and I was able to fix it in a couple minutes. Right. Jesus, but if it wasn't fixable, he might have respected the fact that I tried, but I might not have been able to give him a solution. I might not have been able to get another speaker up there in that moment or something. So like, you almost have to have a backup or have these situations happen to know how to react to them. When things break, a lot of sound guys just like, oh, that sucks. And it's like, it's half of your job is to troubleshoot and fix stuff. So like, and I kind of have that like mentality of like, I need to know everything's good to go, and I need to have a solid hour of chilling knowing everything's gonna work fine at that first note. Right. Like, and a lot of people, like, I don't know, maybe it's just my personality. I'm just detail oriented to those situations. Like, I think we've even done I think even here, dude, we were doing your stream. I remember checking everything. Everything was great. All of a sudden, your guitar started buzzing. I was inside. You guys were out front, and I was like listening to something. I'm like, where the fuck's that buzz coming from? It's like Anton's guitar. Like, what the hell? It's perfect for sound check. Right. And it was literally like, we're going live in like 5 minutes. Right. And I'm like, dude, come here. Your guitar's broke. Like, it's buzzing. Like, and you're like, what the hell? And I'm like, what the hell? We're both kind of like.
Wasn't it the delay?
I don't know what it was.
No, I remember.
Cable. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
But point is, it started by itself. Like, everything was good in sound check.
Yeah.
And then I walk up to my board a couple minutes before we go live, and Anton's guitar just like at full blast. I'm like, how is that happening? We didn't do anything. And that's the nature of technology.
He would say ghosts.
It's possible.
I mean, it's possible.
It's possible, man.
I wouldn't say it's not. I wouldn't say that it's impossible.
It's
to
literally
be that.
impossible. I was gonna ask a question.
It's
literally
it's literally impossible. That's actually not true at all. But okay.
100% is true.
I can talk about
but anyways, about I was gonna ask you. Did you you were working at 1904 when Let Us played like in a couple Augusts ago?
I didn't work it.
You didn't work it, but you
went?
That
was super early. Yeah, I was there for a bit. Yeah, I did. That was super early
I was wondering if you
in 1904, dude.
So you were there though.
I was there. Yeah.
I still say to this day, there has never been a hotter place.
Oh, dude,
in all of America.
Oh, that's probably the most people I've ever had in that place, dude. And that was before the AC upgrades. Oh boy.
There was also there was one night though when
Jesus Coombs, like people were like giving him a box fan to hold on his body.
Bro,
like,
but there was one time
ridiculous.
I saw main squeeze there and the AC was broken altogether.
Oh, woof.
And it was a Tuesday night, but it was like a sold out show almost.
Man, there was a time, dude, before the AC upgrades. It was never really broken. It just couldn't handle the amount of people. Like,
I just remember I was like, yo, this is
the AC was on. The AC was on at Lettuce.
Okay.
There was a night that we either opened up for them, or there was another night that we went and it wasn't.
There was times it broke.
Yeah, there was one time where it was broken. I remember that wasn't that we opened up for them. It was like a year later when we saw them there, and. It was a Tuesday night.
When did we open up for the main screen?
What do you expect, man? Fucking sold out show in the middle of summer and fucking.
Yeah, and the AC fucking broke, and we were just all in there. And I think it was like the day before 420 or something. And Corey, his singer, just like lights up a joint on the stage.
Florida's great.
And somebody, I'm not gonna name their name, but somebody else lit up a joint, got kicked out in 1904. I know you know who I'm talking about.
We gotta talk about this off camera.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure you don't know, but it sounds like something I should remember.
No, it was me.
No. But I just remember being so fucking hot. And I'm like, yo, this is wild.
Yeah.
And it's like, but they were crushing it.
Yeah.
You want to go outside so badly because even in the summertime, it was better than what I felt there. But
So-
they were putting us. But you're making it sound so fucking good. And also,
What show is this?
It was Main Squeeze.
Oh, you opened for Main Squeeze?
No. This is we opened for Main Squeeze back in 2016. I think this is 2017
Okay.
when they were in town again. We didn't open up for them this time, but it was just like I was just at the show, and they were putting. It was such a good show. I was just like, yo, I can't even walk outside.
Oh, yeah.
As bad as it feels right now to be in here, it is such a good show. Yeah, it was just
True
like,
that.
You got to sometimes. Like it's like, would you rather be in like a hot fucking cave or like a thunderstorm watching a show? Because that's just as bad.
So
Yeah.
When it's just rainy
I
and muddy outside.
probably shouldn't, but I am gonna name a name
Here
here.
we
Name
go.
a name. Let's do it.
So this band Tiger Army, right?
Tiger Army.
Like a national touring band. The singer requests. This is dead of summer. He requests on his rider that no AC units with any HVAC systems or anything of the such may be on within an hour or two of his sound check, and they cannot be on before, during, or after his event. This is the dead of summer at 1904 before the AC upgrades. So he comes in. Okay, he comes into the stage and he's checking his guitar and stuff, and I'm doing the sound check, and I turned the AC off. But for some, why does everyone want to see
They
tits?
really want to see your tits, bud. Just give him a flash real quick.
Just give 'em
But
Eric Kaufman.
so he's literally like on the stage, and he's like, there's a draft in the air, and I'm just like, yeah, I just turned it off, dude. Give it a second.
Wait. The guy from Tiger
He's
Army
like,
said
I could feel like air circulation. Like
that is the most prima donna bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
so. All right. Hopefully he doesn't hear this, but I was like,
I'll
what? I was like,
defend you, Eric.
we were all just like, whatever you want, do whatever you want, and like, so the show happens, it's sold out, it is AC off for like 3 or 4 hours before doors, so it's already, 80 degrees in there. People come in there, bro, and I'm looking at the thermostat, dude, it's in the triple digits, and I'm just like, dude, like, this is not safe anymore. And it's like, it's not like, and people are coming up to me and coming up to the security like, what's wrong with your AC? It's like, look, like, they made us turn it off. Go away. Like,
Oh my God.
Like, and then we got a bunch of weird reviews, and like,
Oh my
it was like
God.
their AC system, and then a lot of other people were like, no, the band leader is like allergic to like AC systems or something.
Oh my! He's allergic to AC system.
He's allergic to air.
Like,
That's kind of crazy.
so I've been in situations where it's even hotter than that. Is all I'm trying to say.
So what is? Would you say that's your biggest prima donna moment, or what's your biggest?
That was probably it.
I can't
that
think of
was
anything
pretty
worse
shocking.
than
Yeah, what's
air.
the worst? What's
That
worse
was
than
pretty
that?
shocking, dude. I mean, there's been a couple times, without naming names, there's been some situations where like the rider was just like ridiculously long with production that's capable in 1904 without rental. We got a lot of this stuff, and at this point, 1904's upgraded their power. During the pandemic, we've done some upgrades. So
Yeah, your new speakers are great, and they're white as
Yeah.
snow,
Yep,
and
yep.
y'all got them from a church in Texas.
that's true. That's true.
It looks
Yeah, I
amazing
love the
though.
new speakers, bro.
They look awesome.
Super
Yeah,
crisp.
they're great.
It
They're
looks
great.
really
It's
nice on the
EVs,
stage.
man. Yeah, I was watching some stream the other day. I was like, oh shit, they got the white EVs. I've
Yeah.
never seen them before, like in a venue. Like,
Yeah.
They sound nice, dude. I think right before everything shut down, we were practicing with Greenhouse Lounge at 1904
Oh, yeah.
every Monday and Tuesday,
Oh, yeah.
and they just look amazing. I'm
Yeah.
like, I've never
Slick.
seen white speakers
Slick.
before, but I'm
Yeah,
like,
what-
oh, of course they're from a church. That makes sense.
There was this one time, I forget what DJ it was. I think it was Russ Liquid, and I think Griff was there. It might have been Griff or somebody else, but someone was doing a projection mapping.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. They put the projection map and they cut out the speakers because they're white.
I bet it was the mantras.
I think it was Russ Liquid.
No,
I'm pre-
Mantras haven't played for a long
Yeah.
time.
Right, but they did the whole projection thing too.
Well,
though.
yeah, but this was just like, I think it was just like a local. I think it was Griff.
Okay, all right.
Don't quote me on that. It was somebody, but they've mapped the speakers.
Yeah.
And it was just
Griff can do that. I know he
I
can do
think
that.
it was Griff, but it was awesome. It was like he'd have like images of like speakers moving on it,
Oh,
or
that's
like
super
or like
cool.
little like audio clips moving on it and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like that looks really cool. Like
Griff Collins, he's an awesome
Yeah.
light guy here, projection guy.
Yeah.
He's just an animal.
But that was your. Sorry, before we continue, sorry, because I interrupted and we're talking about speakers. But that was your biggest prima
That was a
prima
pretty
donna
prima
moment.
donna moment.
Because that's always
Another one with the situation where I was talking about where they kicked somebody off the tour bus. I'm not gonna name names, but we'll talk about that. But things like that where it's just like, how in the hell, like, or just like, lead guitar singer dudes being like, I can't believe my sound guy, not talking about me, but like their production sound guy, like I'm in the green room, like, you all ready to go? Like, and like they're like literally talking shit to me about their own sound guy who didn't mix it, his in-ears aren't working right. And I'm like, dude, like, turn your pack on, bro. And he's like stuff like that, like chugging whiskey, like this guy's such a piece of shit, my fucking in-ears don't work. And I'm like, bro, turn your pack on, dude. I was watching him do this. Everything worked. He's a good engine, like you know what I mean?
We need to interview more sound guys. This is amazing.
But it's, it's a different world. It's like front of house and back of house in the kitchen. It's like
that's exactly what it is.
It's
like
the relationship
waiters versus chefs, man, or cooks.
It's a relationship
between
exactly
a
waiter and a server. It's like it's hard on both sides. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
But there's a lack of understanding on both sides. Like,
right. Yeah.
And that's why there's two different positions. You're the creative front man, and I'm the back of house who makes the creative front man look and sound good.
There you go.
Like,
that's why
we're serving you the food and he's making it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why the relationship is so important, and people have to realize that
be nice to your sound guy.
Yeah, you have to just be a decent human being in general.
Well,
right.
Well,
But that goes.
We will.
Yeah. But in general,
you won't.
I'll be a decent reptilian, as you like to describe it. But yeah, just be good to everyone who's like making, like, a sound guy could ruin your fucking show. Not to say that they will, because that's your reputation on the line. But at the end of the day, it's like, if somebody's really fucking up that bad, it's not even your reputation anymore. You know what I mean? Kaufman
calls
Eric
you
does
out.
call you out. That's for sure. That definitely will happen.
I've never had a bad show.
Well, you've never had to be called out, bud. You're on point.
Man,
Most of y'all are on point. I don't think I've ever called any of y'all out.
I've never been called out, but I've seen you.
You've seen me do it.
I've seen you do it to other bands, like opening for us or other bands.
Seen it either,
where I'm just like, damn, that's how
I
you
will
fucking
say,
keep bands in
when
check.
I used to play for Lucky though, I'd get him in the
Miss
monitors.
you, Brian.
I get in the monitors from Eric being like, you got 10 minutes.
yeah. I'll do that.
But that's because our songs are like 30 minutes long.
But it's just like, that's why I know that.
But
it's
you
like,
have to do that.
It's safety. It's
and
like, I don't know
it.
how long this jam band song's going to go on
Well,
for.
exactly.
You got like 12 minutes for this next
song. It was warranted. It was warranted completely. And that's a good sound guy move.
Yeah.
Sound person.
What should bands...
2020.
What should bands do in order to prevent you from becoming the cranky sound band?
Just listen. Use your ears just like I'm using my ears, and communicate in a way that, I'm not like, I'm here to help you. Most sound guys are there to help you, I would hope. But a lot of people who are just new to the stage or new to production, a lot of bands in this area, there's not a lot of places that have a sound guy and a full PA, and a lot of them got to do it themselves, or they don't have subwoofers, or they don't have a monitor mix. So like when all that stuff's thrown into the mix, a lot of bands, but who needs more guitar in your monitor? And some people do this, and they'll point to the monitor, and I'm like, oh, turn the guitar down. I'm gonna turn the guitar down.
Right.
But like, that like the open communication, like, don't, like, I know where you're standing. You don't have to point to the monitor. If you want more, point up. If you want less, point down. But if you point at the monitor, like, who needs guitar? Like, I'm like, oh shit, we better take the guitar out of that one. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. What was the question?
I feel like
that's what should musicians do in order to prevent you from being that cranky sound guy?
Learn sign language is what he's trying to say.
Like, come in there with a mentality that, like, you got somebody who's there to help your sound, so like utilize it.
Yeah.
Don't fret over, I don't want to do a check. Like, what do I need to check for? Because you're not used to checking. Well, if you do check, you're gonna have a better experience.
Yeah.
If you don't check, you're gonna get angry at yourself and me.
I've never met a band. What I always get frustrated with is that
I wish I could check everybody. There's not enough time to check everybody, so I typically check like
that is true. If you play metal,
yeah. Yeah, just
I always go like, are we first or are we last? Like,
Yeah.
we're not. We're middle. I'm like, this is gonna be awful.
if you're the first or the last, you get a check.
You get a check. If you're middle, you
if
do
it's
not.
a long enough day and a long enough load in, you can get, a check in the middle maybe, or like, but it's most of the time if you're in the middle, you're just getting like a 10-15 minute little line check.
That's when if
And it's not easy, but I mean, if everything sounded okay for the first band, it's gonna sound pretty close, and but
right. Especially if they're backline and drums and everything.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I always if it's gonna be was like, oh, we're playing middle, 1, 2, 3, we're playing second. I'll show up at doors because I know for sure there's no reason for me to be there.
No, you're right. I mean, well, unless you want to backline some stuff, but
No, I know.
I mean, you're easy enough. You're just a keyboard rig.
Yeah,
but you gotta
just a keyboardist.
kind of got a couple keys and
Yeah.
the mixer. Is that the same mixer you use?
Yeah, it actually is, and he fixed it. We didn't talk about this, but he fixed it. He did fix it.
Oh, yeah, that's another
He's
thing.
magical, man.
Yeah, that's something we should talk about. So, like, I came in here, Billy was like, yo, like, you're a sound engineer, like, help me out. Like, my board's only receiving, like, one side.
Yeah,
it's
only the right
And
side.
I walk in here, and I'm, like, looking at it. It's like, oh, yeah, something's wrong, dude. I
Yeah,
have no
something's
idea.
wrong.
I'm like, what
I
channel?
discovered that.
Start playing with it, and, like, nothing's happening. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Hopefully it's okay. Like, I'm stumped. And then I literally just, like, went to the master fader and was like, oh, look there. It's working, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
it's working. Yeah.
so most of the time it's just dust, guys.
Yeah, it's like blowing on an SNES cartridge or
seriously,
something.
like it's dust.
It's basically the same thing.
Can I
It
just say real
is.
quick?
Like, remember Nintendo? Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. That's what it's saying. Yeah.
Can I just say real quick? Shout out to Laura, my favorite bartender at 1904.
Yeah, Laura's great.
yeah.
I've known her for so long.
Shout
now.
out Laura, Ariana, Ben. Love you, Ben.
Hell yeah. We should get into unpopular opinions.
Yes, we should.
Is time flown that fast?
Yeah, it's
already?
time.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Oh, Billy's got to go to work soon.
yeah.
So he told me straight up. Can I say this?
We don't
He goes, listen, man. Most of the time after the podcast, we like hang out, but not
Big
tonight,
time.
man.
I got you,
have
bro.
to work.
I got you, bro. You want
Like, good for you, bro.
Yeah, I
You
saw
want
it.
to fucking go? You want to go paint the
go.
town red after
Yes.
this or what?
Yes,
Do
let's,
it.
let's
We'll
hang
go
out.
hang out, bro. I got
Let's
you.
hang out.
I got you,
I
bro.
Let's hang out.
I wish I could. I wish I
Come
could.
to Funk Jam tomorrow.
Yeah,
Funk Jam Monday nights, 1904
it's late.
Spliffs
That's-
backstage.
So like it's closed now because they're moving Spliffs
I
to
was
the corner
wondering.
spot. But
Yeah.
we're doing like Funk Jam's Monday at Spliffs all the time. So like either place isn't really open yet. But we're just gonna do one more with like limited food items. So come on, get some free. Not free. Get some cheap drinks and some cheap food.
yeah, whoa, careful there.
That's for me. That's for me. But yeah. But yeah, come on out. I'm gonna mix sound out there and work for once. On an iPad, so that should be cool. Social distant and all that, and food. And
I'm
I might try and
confused.
come out there.
So with 1904 moving Spliffs over to that side of things, the
Yeah.
patio's still gonna be there, right?
patio will be there a few weeks later. So what's happening?
Whoa, hang on. Wait, but the patio,
Oh, yeah, it'll be there.
it's still there.
Yes.
But so, are you guys just buying all of it? So
What's
not.
Spliffs
So Spliffs, the restaurant's bar Spliffs is moving to the corner.
Got it. I know
The
that.
open space
Yeah.
with the patio, and there's a big article about this. I'll show it to you later.
Yeah.
Is going to become a coffee type of a joint.
Okay, sorry.
Called Headroom. Awesome name, by the way, Jason.
Hell yeah.
It's called Headroom, and it still has the patio. It has.
Is that associated with 1904 or no?
Yes, it's basically gonna be the same vibe as Spliffs, I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on this. Is their business, not mine. But there's a patio. We're gonna have concerts on it when it's allowed, and they're gonna serve like coffee and like food, and don't quote me on this. I don't know the whole business plan, but it's basically like a coffee shop and liquor and food and pastries and stuff like that. But it's just not gonna be called Split. It's gonna be Headroom, and then there's gonna be concerts out back, and it's gonna be one of the few spots around here that serves late night espresso. It serves late night, so I mean
Late night coffee, doing
so, I mean,
coladas.
yeah, you
grew up
go-
South Florida.
pina coladas.
No, coladas.
Coladas.
Yeah. Am I saying it right?
I don't
Coladas,
know.
That's right.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a prescription pill.
That's
or
a
something.
Miami thing, though. It's not a
That's-
Fort Lauderdale thing.
Oh, he said he's from Miami.
I do not know. Are we talking about pina coladas?
No, not pina
No.
coladas. I can make pina coladas.
Coladas, like
It's
Cuban coffee, basically.
it's like crack.
Oh, okay.
coffee.
Yeah. I've had them.
It's the reason why meth never
I
took
love
off
it.
in South Florida.
Yeah, hopefully they do something like that. That'll be really cool. But
Man,
yeah, I mean, you'll be able to get some food. The new split's a little bigger, and then when everything's kind of open at the same time, I'm sure you'll be able to get some food, go to the coffee shop, go to the patio. If you have a ticket to the concert, it's just that whole block is just something to do.
Love it, man.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
love
be
that
coming
you're.
back, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Big ups to our owners over there, man. They're,
And
they're
I'm
doing
just
big
I'm
things,
just
so.
one exit away from here. I like living
Like
over here on the
Underbelly?
side of town.
You know what's going on with
Yeah,
that?
that's happening too. But I think they kind of like took the
Pump the
shift
brakes on it a little
to
bit.
Yeah.
get this side of the block kind of built up and ready. I mean, Underbelly was supposed to be open by now. I was actually going to be, production manager of both spots and start hiring on some of these other sound guys under me here. And
It's coming back.
so it'll happen.
It'll come back.
I don't know when. I think right now the move is the splits thing, and then
We'll get Jason on and we'll have him talk about it as
because
well.
at least at that spot, that's like, I mean, they have like 4 businesses. Like that can at least have some kind of income and float the rent for all these businesses.
Yeah.
Because they could sell food. So like that's the only one that's viable right now.
Right.
That makes
So
sense.
I mean, as soon as they can start opening stuff, they'll start opening Underbelly.
Yeah.
It's pretty much
Save our
ready,
stage,
but-
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
This goes back
save
to
our
all our
stage and be safe. And there's something going around, man.
Yeah, there's
Unpopular
something.
opinion number 1.
Oh yeah, we're starting it.
Yeah, we gotta do it.
Let's do it. This is my favorite part.
Rochelle's my homie from like 9th grade right there. Bill is so cultured with that colada
Yeah.
reference. I took him down to Miami
Hey,
a
that's
couple of
what's
years
up.
ago, and he
like
realized
colada.
he learned what a colada was and drank it for the first time and realized this
I
is
love
crazy.
Miami.
Yeah.
Also, go Marlins.
Real 5 do I die.
Go fish.
Yo.
Go fish.
Yeah, I love fish. It's really good, especially when it's cooked. I like it to be like a little rare, like seared almost. Really.
Okay.
Seared ahi tuna.
Yeah, like
Oh,
seared
damn.
ahi tuna. Don't get me started.
I meant
anyways,
the baseball team, but okay.
So unpopular number 1, language sucks.
yeah, I want to. You said that you were going to explain this to me. Language sucks.
Well, how
Yeah.
would we be speaking then?
yeah,
that's-
and
well, the
in fact, I would say
It does suck, but
language doesn't suck.
Yeah, so
What-
the whole
What if I was just like
every problem
is that-
problem that exists in the world right now can be reduced down to semantics, really, and translation. At the end of the day, if we didn't have language, if we all just
Are
could
you trying to get
communicate-
me to join a cult? That's what
No,
it
no.
sounds like.
If we could just all communicate on some kind of like telepathic level,
Here we go.
then we wouldn't have
Reptilian.
any problems. That's what it's all about.
Confirmed.
I'm definitely I think I'm at least down with the idea of reptilian, like the ideology
The
of it.
moment I met you, I
Yeah.
said your arms are too long for your body. I researched
Oh my
you,
God.
and then
What's your
I
unpopular opinion,
got
Bill?
all of the bullet points
If
crossed off,
if-
and you were 100%
Alright.
reptilian confirmed.
if you can argue this point, if you can argue against what I just said,
I don't
then I'll
even
listen to you.
understand what you mean. Like language is
Every
sucks?
problem in the world could be boiled down to semantics and translation problems. That's all I'm saying.
I disagree.
Okay. Well
Yeah, like
then-
100%. Like,
Okay.
what do you ever like?
Why?
Well,
I don't know.
how
You
else
gotta
would-
eat at some point
I
in
mean,
time.
we could
you
just-
can't eat words, can you?
Well, figure out how to telepathically communicate, and then it's all good, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Alright.
saying.
Right.
If we could all just understand each other without any misinterpretations.
There's a couple
or
other
semantics on
episodes
words.
of the Star Trek The Next Generation you need to watch about language and telepathic
Well, I
stuff.
say it sucks. At the end of the day,
You
it's
can't
the root of,
download-
language is the root of all evil. Is all
you
I'm saying.
can't,
Not
you can't
money.
download a brain,
Your
but
first unpopular opinion.
Mumford and Sons can die in a lake of fire. It's okay.
I'm a
This-
fan. I like.
You
them
know,
a
I
lot.
saw them at they had a festival in St. Augustine. It was fucking awesome. The Gentlemen of the Road tour and Mumford headlined. And I mean, I wasn't a huge Mumford fan, but I enjoyed the set.
They're a great band.
and it was just really cool to have a fest like that in St. Augustine. They closed the whole street down. Like it was cool, man.
They have started. They have started the.
Eric's got an unpopular opinion.
Well, hey, you want to come in with
Mine?
something?
What's mine? Oh,
I don't
okay, yeah,
know.
all right, yeah.
Oh yeah. After this.
All right, my unpopular opinion is not a fan of liquor. I'm not a fan of liquor.
You're not a fan of liquor?
Eric would rather drink beer.
I'd rather drink beer. Y'all see me. I mean, this is not my beer choice,
I'm a
but
big fan
I mean, I
of,
don't dislike liquor. I don't
whiskey, I
dislike
would
it,
say.
but it's just it doesn't taste good.
Beer doesn't taste
No,
good?
alcohol, liquor, mixtures
But-
doesn't taste good to me. When
well,
I'm
this is-
drinking,
this
when I'm
is-
drinking something, I want to sip on it and enjoy it.
I'll
I mean,
choose you,
cheers.
Tony.
Hey,
No,
but-
but I'm not choosing
This,
a Bud
this
Light.
is straight bourbon right here,
Yeah.
bud. I don't know if you
It
can
might just
handle
be.
this.
It might just be because when I was younger, man.
Mix it with
I drank too
Coca-Cola.
much liquor. And
Yeah, I didn't drink. I drank no liquor when I was younger.
Certain
but-
smells, dude. It's just love liquor.
I feel you.
I mean, I'm not to say I won't drink a shot. Someone buys me a shot or have a mixed drink. But I'd rather just have.
I don't like any other
So-
liquor besides whiskey. I will say that.
I don't hate
And
tequila.
and
I don't
tequila.
hate
We
tequila.
talked about
Bourbon,
that.
that's where it's at for me.
Tequila and bourbon.
I'll drink scotch
America,
from now on.
Mexico, get out of my I don't want to be part of it.
Mezcal and whiskey really is what it boils down to.
Yeah, well, it boils down when you really boil it down.
We really boil it down.
When you really just separate everything. That's all it is.
My second unpopular opinion is I'm going to kind of hop on board Eric's thing here and say Rumplemints suck.
Yeah, Rumplemints.
I only drink it with like Sean and Adam.
But you only drink Rumplemints with real alcoholics.
Yeah, it's true.
Or bartenders.
Those are Billy's words, not mine. I love you, Sean and
But
Adam.
I'll drink
you guys
it.
are
Or
my
bartenders.
boys,
It's not
like
terrible.
It's alcoholics and bartenders. They're the only people
It's
who drink
easier
Rumplemints.
to drink than other shots.
Yeah, it is.
How,
definitely easier to do that.
it's like someone boiled down a candy cane and then added like Everclear to it. It's disgusting.
I do like tequila, Courtney.
Yeah,
Billy,
tequila's
go on your
Yeah.
second unpopular opinion. I'm gonna have to walk out real quick to grab my third unpopular opinion.
Go ahead.
Oh, what? There's like a
My secular.
prop comedy.
I just moved to Riverside about 4 months ago, and I would like to say there should be no street names.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you just want to be like New York style, like I'm on
Exactly.
578th Street.
Well, I grew I lived at the beach for like 15 years and everything like that. Everything's numbered.
First Street, Second Street,
And it's
ABC.
so easy to get around and everything like that.
Yeah.
Except if you go to like Atlantic Beach, everything's just named
Well,
again. Like there's
yeah.
Lower Street and all these other
It
streets.
is-
But
it is kind of obnoxious,
but yeah, just number the streets. I got
Put
lost.
it on a fucking grid, bro.
I got lost going to Shores
Yeah,
on my way from my
I
house.
feel you though.
And I live less than a mile there.
It's not on a grid. It's hard.
I went the wrong way and I ended up at Publix.
Yeah, when it's not on a grid, it stops making sense. Like growing up.
You agree with me?
Yeah, well, I agree with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
'cause,
maybe it's
like,
not an unpopular
no,
opinion
well,
then.
No, when I lived in South Florida in Broward County, if you're not like in downtown
Yo.
Fort Lauderdale, everything is just names. You go to Miami though, everything is numbers.
numbered.
But here's
So
what,
your last one.
here's where it
Yeah.
fucks up though.
Yeah.
In Miami, is if you go to Hialeah, somehow.
Opalaka?
Well, no, but like west, like we go to
Calle Ocho?
bro, like in Hialeah.
I've been there.
All of a sudden, like what is like 49th Street becomes 12th Street in Hialeah type shit. You're just like, what? Because there was like a whole thing. I forgot the whole reasoning behind it, but it's crazy because they're trying to be like their own thing and just didn't. I forgot the whole thing, but yeah, it's wild.
Let
Yeah,
him say his
unpopular
last
opinion.
one. Yeah.
Oh, this is the best. My other unpopular opinion
Yeah.
is unpopular opinions are popular.
Yeah.
And this portion of the show is the most popular.
It's the best
For
part.
sure.
It's
The
the
rest
best
of what goes
part.
on here,
I
no
love
one
this
cares
part of
about.
the show. This shit has me laughing every time.
Whose
like,
idea was the unpopular opinion?
I think it was
I think-
Anton's.
I think it was my idea.
Oh, was it?
was not your
Pretty sure it was
idea.
my
We
idea.
gotta watch that first podcast. See who says it first.
Yeah. I think it was a mutual effort.
No,
No,
honestly.
it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
You say you'll never give me 100% credit on
Unpopular
something.
opinions are
Because
actually
it's,
popular.
because
opinions.
everything that we do together typically is not.
It's you.
No, it's usually you say something and I iron the idea out,
Fuck off.
and then it's like, oh yeah, that's a really good
But
idea.
who came in with it first?
Well, it's like okay, it's like
Who's coal mining over here, and who's the one processing?
it's
it?
like
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
like if you build a wooden
Here
structure
we go.
of like plywood and just shit, I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, we can make this like a real thing, and
Ah.
I put the fucking.
Finesse.
I put the skin and the muscle on the bones.
Yeah,
bro.
okay,
You know
all
what I
right.
mean? That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I
You're
but I
just-
came in with it first.
You're just a bone to him, is what he's
You're,
trying to say.
you're just a fucking bone.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
I'm the fucking skin and muscle on that
Oh,
bone.
okay. All right.
I'm everything that makes up. I'm what makes up the vanity of that just.
I would
that
say you're
bone
pretty
structure.
vain. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, here's my last unpopular opinion, and this one takes a little bit of a.
It's a show and tell
it's,
opinion.
It's a show.
Yeah, what
it's a
is it?
show and tell. If you're listening to this on the audio podcast, I'm sorry you can't see this, but I'll describe it after I'm done here.
No, I'll describe it.
Okay, yeah. You
do you got?
you describe what's happening as it's happening.
I'll pretend I'm a golf announcer.
I know what this is.
Anton's teeing up right now, having a 12-ounce count of Bud Light, pouring gently into a. Oh my God! What is he doing to this glass? He's putting and to the IKEA couch. He's putting all of the Bud Light immediately into a
that?
glass,
It's like water.
empty glass, and I would say neck and neck. No, show it to the camera as well. I would say it's about 75% foam, and 15% beer, and about 10% vanity, and that adds up to 100% of a dick.
I would say that's how you pour a beer, ladies and gentlemen.
That is not how you
And
pour beer.
Apparently that's how you
Don't
pour it.
try me on this. I went to a beer pouring class.
God, he
and
sounds
this
even
tells
more of a
you-
dick now.
This tells you.
And they told you to do this with Bud
basically
Light?
when you yeah, that's true. You do it with Budweiser actually, but that's true.
God, you suck so bad.
So when you do it, it actually releases all the carbon from the beer. And then that way you can drink a beer without getting fat and bloated afterwards.
How do you,
Fat
how do you drink your
bloated.
champagne?
And it takes a little bit. It takes a little bit of time for it to kind of whittle down to the beer that you actually want to drink. But good things take time.
Oh,
you
take
know.
take a fat sip
you
out
do
of that.
think
Show the
that?
camera. Take.
Well, I gotta wait a couple minutes for it to simmer down a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But good things take time.
Good
you know what I
thing.
mean?
Good things take time. All right.
So, Bill, what's your last unpopular
what's-
opinion?
I don't know. Yeah, my notebook's rest. Let me just see what I
Language
wrote
is-
down here. Not all good things take time.
Oh, perfect rebuttal.
That wasn't
Perfect
even
rebuttal.
planned. We just that
Not
just came
planned
up.
at all. That is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever
What
seen.
are some timeless good things that happen to you?
that don't take time.
Yeah.
I'm not
Shower.
talking about what you do with the
A
bedroom door
shower.
shut.
5 minutes, you're in and out.
I'm a big fan of baths.
You're
that was my
clean.
last- that was my
You're
unpopular opinion
clean.
from last week.
Talk about that last week. That was boring.
Thank you. That is boring.
That was funny though.
Baths are
That was funny. That was a
ridiculous.
good one. I
Bath-
love baths.
Baths
He's like,
are
yeah,
like
you like some candles?
Ugh.
Yeah, sometimes I like some candles.
So so Bill says not all good things take time.
I'm trying to think of another thing that,
Like
that
what?
is good that doesn't take time.
Yeah, like what?
Like Hot Pockets? Like what?
There you go. Well, no,
Po-
hot
yeah, those
pockets.
are
Hot
real
pockets
good.
take a little bit of time. I
It'll
can't.
take like 2 minutes in the microwave.
and they're not also not good.
They're terrible. Right. So
You mean those awesome keyboard riffs you come up with don't take time?
Don't. No.
oh, those
I don't
come up.
Really?
Trust me.
No time?
No time at all.
No
time
When
at all.
he starts playing,
Yeah,
shit,
I might
usually,
believe you.
I usually have to be like, yo, what you just played, just stop playing
Okay.
90% of that.
Okay, I can get on board with
I don't
that.
even know where it comes from, and I just do it, and it's just good.
No, it's not
just,
good.
It just comes up immediately.
It's usually I have to sit there and be
can
like,
get on board
So
with
yo, literally everything you just played except for this one riff sounded good.
Yeah.
So like, 90% of what you just did,
Yeah.
should
that
just stop doing all that.
But how much time did it take?
Oh, it takes about 30 seconds.
There you
if
go.
that.
But no time.
Yeah,
So-
no time.
So I got the
That's
time
good.
and I got the
zero-
good.
It takes little time.
Yeah, little
but
time.
a lot of notes, and then me to whittle it down to little notes.
You're whittling.
Sometimes in a lot of time.
I feel like whittling takes a long time.
whittling. That's what I'm saying. Though.
Yeah.
I literally just said
And
that.
also that
right?
it's not good.
No, it's good.
Whittling isn't good.
Whittling's not good
Yeah.
but I shouldn't. But unfortunately, I have to do that with what you present to me a lot of the time. I have to whittle it down to almost nothing.
My wit is great and takes no time.
Your what?
My wit.
Wit.
My comebacks.
yeah,
Clever, bro.
Yeah, great comebacks.
Super clever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Clever girl.
I was about to say, if you weren't gonna say that, I'd be like Fight Club is like, well, how's it working out for you? What? Being clever.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Bottom
Bill.
Bill. It
Bottom
sucks
of
that
the
we have
bill.
to end it so quickly. This is all Billy's fault. We have to end it so right
Oh,
now.
I know.
It's almost
I'm
8 o'clock.
I'm
It's almost
sorry.
time for
Gotta go
Billy
to
to do
Yeah.
what he's got to do. So we'll see you guys.
I gotta feed my kids
possibly next
somehow.
week.
Gotta
We're
feed
going
the
down to
baby.
the studio to finish to hopefully finish our album. This upcoming
I'm
week.
going to finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Those 30-second keyboard
Because
parts.
good-
Yeah,
Thanks.
literally, that's all he has to do. This is the third
That's
trip
it, like,
it's
I-
taken us for him to finish his shit. Is all
Here's
I'm saying.
This is
$8 for my
bullshit.
studio time.
Anyways,
Here's $20 for my
Good
studio.
things take
Literally
time.
That's awesome.
Not
That's
even
hard to
30,
find.
not
It's
even
hard to
30
find.
seconds of keyboard time. It's
That's
taken
good.
him
I
3
believe
trips
it.
to finish on
I
this.
believe it.
This
He's
one little
alright.
part, actually.
Oh my
I
god!
heard him.
I'll go down to
I
the
love
fucking
it.
studio
I'm
and
just
then
saying,
we'll
we
go
gotta-
3 days guitar and then 1 day me and
Yeah.
I'm so tired because I'm sleeping on the floor or whatever.
Because
and then
you don't, because Billy's
and then
the
it's
best
like, all right-
producer that you want to have, by the way.
Okay.
He sleeps most of the time.
I sleep all the time.
Anyways,
Billy, what do you think of this?
yeah,
All right.
Sounds good, bro. Yeah.
and that is usually my opinion. What I think
fine,
of
that's-
it.
yeah, that's
until
fine.
One
You don't-
day he slept for like the entire
Anton's
time we were
bad.
there. And woke
Yeah.
up and was like, "I don't like anything you did." I was like, "Well, you slept the
We
entire
just
time."
spent $700
Yeah,
doing that. So.
exactly.
It's on the
Anyways,
record now.
well, hopefully, we'll be back with you guys
I can't wait to hear the record, by
next. Thank you. We're very
We're
excited
gonna skip
about
a
it.
week, right? You said.
No, we'll probably do. We're gonna try and release something next week, and we'll see you. Stay tuned for that. We want to thank
could just-
Eric for being with
Yeah,
us
of course.
this week.
Thanks for
Do you want
This
to plug
was a great
anything before you
episode.
go?
Just come out and support everybody, man.
Save our stages.
Yeah, save our stages. If you could help share a link or just get the word out there that venues, musicians are struggling. I mean, I know everyone knows, but it's deeper than you think, and we're just ready to come back. So when we do come back, just come support.
I don't think I think next year, I'm praying for like this imaginary dream world where it's just gonna be 100% like everything's secured. And
one day.
It's just gonna be double shows.
Yeah,
double
festivals. I think when it
amazing.
like when it is like a safer world again, it might take a while to get there and climb up there, but when it does happen, like that comeback, I feel
it's like someone
everything's
gonna
double up. Like instead of being a couple hundred fests, it'll be 1,000 fests a year. Like
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't
wait.
We'll and please follow us on all the social media outlets that you see down there. And we will see you guys hopefully next week. So stay tuned.
Adios, muchachos.
Peace.